What's up guys, Goki here with a brand new video. We're going to be talking about a tier list that I did on my stream earlier this week, and it has some contradictory opinions, but I think I wrestled enough with what I think are the best units currently, and even the new units, I did place them in the Z tier. Both of them, in fact, people will disagree, namely higher tier players and stuff. I'm just, you know, casual. Currently, I am grinding to get higher ranks in the following rating for next season, but for now, I feel like I've fought some of these characters in PvP enough to kind of grasp how strong they really are. So without further ado, let's move on to the video. And before we do, in fact, continue, I will like to remind you to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content and enjoy the breakdown, future breakdowns, and this current Z tier list that I've made. So towards on this side by me, you notice that I'm looking over here. This is the recording, but we have S tier down here, and then we have Z tier up there, and then S plus, and then S tier. So S tier, the difference is there's a wider gap between them and the Z tiers, and the S tiers, there's a bigger and big enough flaw that keeps them away from being Z tier. So that's usually how someone would label a character being really strong or not. But this is my list. Some people put Goku and Vegeta really close neck and neck. I think Goku is significantly stronger than Vegeta, but in actuality he's really minusculely strong. Tankiness is really important, and I think Vegeta lacks that, and because of that, Goku is at the very top. He does everything well. He has a really good, not blast art, but strike art game, and he has really good damage off of his blue cards. His blue cards stop switching for a period of time, and it just makes it really good. So, very simple unit, very good main ability. But next is his bane of his existence. The reason why Super Saiyan 4 Goku didn't have the chance to shine was, obviously, there was movie Gohan. Every time there's a big purple in format that tends to be the meta, Gohan always submerges somehow and becomes this annoying force that dictates past the pace of the match. But thank goodness Goku did come with the package of Vegeta in his team, so it makes Gohan a less likely threat. But Gohan's still annoying for other teams to face, maybe sometimes LOE. Certain teams, LOE is bringing the red golden Frieza now, which is really strong for taking care of Gohan. But then they have issues fighting like with the cover change between Bojack and Gohan, locking in units that they don't want to get locked in, such as the purple cooler and things like that. It's just very risky to play that stuff against Gohan, and the fact that they now have Junimbo added to the movies makes it even worse to play against. So moving on, we have Shallot. Shallot is really good. He's Super Saiyan 3 Shallot specifically. I didn't put any other Shallots on the tier list because this is the only Shallot that is actually competitive. This Shallot is strong. He's tanky. He has a really good cover change ability that lets him tank damage 40% less. Strike stacks out the wazoo. His unique abilities just keep stacking damage buffs, and then he gets more damage buffs for his crisis ability, and he's just really strong. Main ability gives him more strike damage, and it reduces his strike arts. So it's just an overall kit built for this character. He resembles Super Saiyan 4 Goku in a sense because of that. He's just really good. The only thing that makes him worse than Super Saiyan 4 Goku is he needs to be transformed very safely. Other than that, the character does so much damage. Off of a combo, you can kill any character in the Z tier, confidently saying. And this is not even Shallot with max stars. We don't know how strong he'll get with his next transformation, if he ever gets one. It's just very scary going forward. So we might see, because he's type neutral or light, we might see a dark card come in to play later on to just keep Shallot in check, less Shallot usage, things like that. But for now, Shallot's just really strong. He's a really good meta choice. Saiyajins are better than ever because of him, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku being able to be run on the team, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta with Baby. You can literally run a Z tier team with 3 of the units on this thing. Actually, you can add LF Goku as well, and don't see any degradation on performance in your team. Moving on, we have Janemba, the brand new boy to the stable. He's strong. He's strong. He eats Gohans for breakfast. Goodbye Gohan, aka Goresh. He can deal really well with movie characters, even Blue Vegeta. Blue, as long as you have that movie tag on you, it's scary to fight against Janemba, period. He does tons of damage. He gets tanky. He kind of mitigates the type advantage bonus because he gets plus 20% to his defense. Overall, against movie characters, he gets 30% extra damage against them all. He's just really powerful. Type advantage, characters need to be wary. Full power Frieza will get eaten alive. Bojack would get eaten alive. Gohan would get eaten alive. Purple Cooler would get eaten alive. Anything that has a movie tag has to be scary to this character, even if you have type advantage. You have to respect this character. This character is very strong. He's got a good green card. He's got good blue card damage, and he's got bleed on it. He's got so much utility in a kit. He's got survivability and tankiness against movies. Combine him with Super Baby, it just becomes a nightmare because of switching buffs off of Baby and main ability on Baby. Healing Janemba, being a heal battery. Janemba actually batteries himself when he swaps in or even starts the battle. You'll see that he gains HP for a certain amount of time ticks. He's just really powerful right now. Now, what I would consider the hardest counter to Janemba is this unit. LF Goku does so much damage to you. Janemba has to be scared of him. He kind of has to respect this Goku, and that's why Janemba and Gogeta kind of go paired hand in hand when you put him on movies. I think people are kind of underestimating what Gogeta could bring to movies, even though he's blast oriented. That type coverage is just really important. And if you're playing a movie team or even a regen team, fighting against this LF Goku is scary. Fighting against LOE with this Goku is kind of scary because he gets a buff against LOE. This Goku is slow to start at the very beginning, but if you could get combo off, in middle combo transform, and then play the neutral charge up key, your opponent has to be scared of this character. All these characters on the Z tier demand respect in some sense, right? And you have to be able to play around their abilities. You have to know their abilities inside out. It makes them really powerful. But yes, this Goku is a strong check to Super Vegeta. Super Vegito, the best purple in the game at one point. The best unit in the game at one point. I wouldn't say how the mighty have fallen because he's just still really strong and he's had a really good lifeline in this game. He's stayed relevant for quite some time. He's got the character is just built so well that his lasting time is forever. Honestly, they wouldn't have to make more Super Vegetos. They could just rework this one to keep relevant. But obviously, no one's gonna eventually like, oh, we already have Super Vegeta Max. So they will make more in the future, but this one specifically is just way too strong. And it's good that Gohan came out to check him, but Gohan has run it for way too. But good cover change, good damage, good main ability. It's everything in common with all these units at the very top. They have good main abilities, good damage, good green skills usually. They have good blue card damage. They have good effects on their blue cards. They've got good unique abilities. They're just really good overall. Enter Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. He's Goku, but slightly worse in tankiness. That's all you really have to say. He's a blast, so he's a blast unit. He's a ranged unit, so he kind of loses favor on that side because blast units there's better strike gear and strike passives than there are blast gears in this game. But you can build up Vegeta very nasty. You can tailor some of it to blast damage, some of it to super moves, and he'll be a monster, and he's a great check to Gohan. He's just lower than Goku. Honestly, I would swap places Janemba with him, mainly because Super Vegeta also has Janemba, but Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta right now sits right here for me on the Z tier. Remember, all these differences that separate these characters are quite minuscule. So even the gap between Goku and Vegeta is so the gap between Gohan and Goku is even small. Then we have Bojack. Bojack is amazing cover change, good damage. His flaw is his squishiness, so if you swap in and you get baited, you get eaten for breakfast by a yellow card. The best yellow card would be Gohan, so in the mirror match you have to be very careful. Then you have Final Form full power Frieza, and then you have Cell, who's now a regen is back because of Janemba. Cell is scary. He's got his cover rescue. He's a weak opponent. He's a very, very weak matchup for Bojack. An issue if Bojack's not cured. And the cover rescue is really good for the bosses or even Saiyajin. Super Saiyajin Blue, not Gogeta, but Vegeta. He's just a staple on God Key. He's just really strong, tons of damage. He's one of the few strike-oriented Vegetas. He's got good equips. All these guys, they have good equips. They have access to some of the best equips in the game. Because of that, they hit hard. They do everything so well. Offense, defense. He's pretty tanky. He hits hard. Good main ability. It gets very repetitive in the Z tier because they are very close to one. The only ones I can really talk a lot about is Super Goji and Janemba because they're so different, and the Super Saiyan 4. And then you have Cooler, really good character after transformation, really character before transformation. After transformation, he's scary and you have to be able to deal with him. Notice sometimes people even save their rising rushes for this card alone. He is scary when you're using the Saiyajin and you're playing it. He has a little less value in the Z tier now because of Janemba as well. So there's another team he has to worry about, which is Regen, and Blue Cooler doesn't get any buffs against Janemba. So Blue, like you can bring Blue Cooler, but he doesn't get defensive outside Saiyajin, and he gets the type advantage, but Janemba gets double boosts against Cooler. He also gets double boosts against Cooler Purple. So it's just, he has less value on the tier list now because Janemba is such a menace. And you see Charlotte a lot more than Janemba because Saiyajins are very easy to build, but any top tier player using Regen is going to be scared. And then last but not least, we have Super Gogeta. Now this, he is a quality upgrade from the red one. I don't think it's a minuscule upgrade, it's very good, and the direction they took the character is different from the original. So in terms of stats, he's better in most cases. He's now a ranged unit, right? Because they made Janemba the strike unit and they didn't want double strike units on the same banner. He gives Fusion Blast, right? And he gives Movies Blast, two of which are strike oriented teams. So I believe in the future that Fusion Warriors are going to get more blast oriented units. And when that comes, Super Gogeta is going to be up here. He's here for now, not because of bias, because Vegeta is my favorite vibe. I believe everyone's like giving him a chance, and the thing is, he doesn't work on the team as properly as Blue Gogeta does, or Red Vegeta, or even Purple Super Vegeta, but he can dish out damage. LF Goku, nothing. He can dish damage against LOE, and this is before he gets a team focused around his stat pack. Blast is not very prevalent on both Movie and Vegito, and his typing is amazing. Now, there's certainly great green options for movies in the tanky green Goku from the movie, and then LOE has good green options, but Fusion is definitely missing a good green option. Now, if they made him strike, and he had a strike passive, he'd be insane. You would swap him out for Red Gogeta and play Raditz as the HP boost, or even Charlotte as the HP boost. As Charlotte's type neutral, and he'll do tons of damage anyway, regardless of having the buffs on the team. But Super Gogeta is being slept on. Maybe some people are not, but yeah, he's definitely a really strong card, not to be underestimated. And I do believe he belongs in the Z tier, even though his kit doesn't allow him to flourish on the current teams. He is that quality type of unit because of strong green card, a strong blue card. He has a good blast card in damage up 10% for 10 timer counts. He's got good offensive stats. He's squishy. He's pretty much a green Vegeta that goes on fusions. Like Vegeta's, feels kind of misplaced on GT ever so slightly because GT has more strike-oriented buffs than blast buffs. Gogeta kind of feels that way as well, but in given time, as Fusion Warriors get more and more and more to it, he will be a monster, and he will be something to fear naturally. But that's it for the Z tier descriptions, small descriptions. I will be going more in depth on these characters. This is more for like beginner, intermediate, someone who's relatively new but can pick up fighting games or tap fighting games quite easily. There's a lot of baiting involved in this game, so I want to be able to bring a more accurate, objective approach to all these characters and give you all their bad matchups, all their good matchups, all their best equips, and so on and so forth. So be on the lookout for these videos, the first one being Janemba. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as usual, because that says down there in the corner. So thank you guys, and remember, keep it Massachusetts.